throughout the past several days, we've seen several titles with stunning visuals and aesthetics that deserve recognition. Whether it's freshly announced titles that have never been seen before or brand new titles releasing soon, here are 15 new games with amazing graphics to keep an eye on. The Last of Us Part 1. If The Last of Us Part 1 is a cash grab, it's one of the more gorgeous cash grabs yet. Built from the ground up for the PS5, the remake supports 4K resolution and 60 frames per second. However, the real story can be seen in the character rendering, as displayed with Tessa's new model. Lighting and the sheer amount of details, whether it's cloth and skin textures or environments. Given how the first game pushed the boundaries of realistic video game visuals, it's great to see the remake going further than that. The Last of Us Part 1 launches in September for PS5 with a PC version also in development. Resident Evil 4 2023. Remember when Resident Evil 4 was a horror game outside of that one chainsaw death? Of course not, which is why Capcom now is dead set on creating a dark, lonely mood. The 2023 remake is developed on the RE engine, with the atmospherics and lighting feeling more spooky. Character models, objects, and environments are still very realistic and gritty, but the overall vibe is one of dread and terror. We'll find out how terrifying the new experience is when Resident Evil 4 launches on March 23, 2023 for Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and PC. Diablo 4. As much as I loathe Diablo Immortal and feel confident in Diablo 4 having its shifty monetization, I will admit it looks gorgeous. While the dark atmospherics and influences of Diablo 2 are obvious, the overall fidelity is on another level. Realistic-looking environments, lighting, shadows, weather effects, and materials are just the beginning. Damage is similarly visceral, right down to the blood splatters and gore, and the animation looks buttery smooth. It's almost hard to believe that the game looks and runs this good en route to its release next year. Forza Motorsport 2023. Xbox promised a, quote, generational leap in immersion, end quote, when presenting the next Forza Motorsport, which launches in 2023, and it wasn't joking. Ray tracing, realistic lighting and shadows, photogrammetry, and incredibly detailed tracks, dynamic time of day, the list goes on. And it all looks very good. Even vehicle damage is painstakingly detailed with peeled paint and individual scratches. Whether you're a fan of racing sims or not, Forza Motorsport could turn you into one. System Shock 2022. Night Dive Studios' System Shock remake has been in the works for years, but development is reportedly wrapping up. If there's one thing that the latest trailer proved though, it's that the cyberpunk aesthetic still looks amazing. The development team has lovingly reimagined each object, weapon, enemy, and environment while staying true to the original's atmosphere. It's slated to release this year for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Scorn. Scorn is grotesque, which is the point, but its art style crosses the line into just plain ick territory, which is great, don't get us wrong, but also pretty gross. Nevertheless, the H.R. Giger-inspired architecture and environments, techno-organic beings that seemingly channel Zdzisław Beksiński and sheer surrealism turn it into an experience unlike any other. Scorn releases on October 21st for Xbox Series and PC. Street Fighter 6. The first teaser trailer didn't give a proper sense of Street Fighter 6's art style. However, after all the gameplay reveals and trailers, the semi-realistic art style mixed with street culture and over-the-top graffiti effects look phenomenal. It may come across as busy in screenshots, but seeing the slow motion and sheer explosion of colors with punish counters and super arts is just great. Releasing in 2023, Street Fighter 6 will be available for Xbox Series, PS4, 5, and PC. Layers of Fears. For its next big game and first title on Unreal Engine 5, Bloober Team returns to the Layers of Fear franchise. Its latest title, Layers of Fears, promises an immersive and visceral horror experience, utilizing ray tracing, HDR, and the Lumen system for some 4K frights. How the actual story shakes out remains to be seen. Nevertheless, it's out in early 2023 for Xbox Series, PS5, and PC. The Invincible. First announced several years ago, the Invincible has been making steady progress, as showcased in its latest trailer. Based on Stanislaw Lem's novel of the same name, it sees players exploring Regis 3 and uncovering the mysteries that lie beneath. Detailed environments and surfaces, stellar effects like dust particles, and realistic shadows make it one of the better-looking first-person titles of 2023, which is no small feat. A Plague Tale Requiem. A Plague Tale Innocence remains a gorgeous title to this day, but A Plague Tale Requiem somehow looks even better. Everything from the sunlit cities to the rat-infested streets looks great. How Asobo Studio manages to create some of the more disturbing visual sights, see heaps of rats swimming and squirming everywhere, while still presenting them in such fidelity is beyond us, but the level of quality continues to impress. The Last Case of Benedict Fox. Lovecraft's works are usually known for their dreary visuals. While The Last Case of Benedict Fox embodies that, it's also surprisingly colorful. The pulp noir approach is strong, whether investigating dimly lit hallways or venturing into otherworldly environments to battle nightmarish creatures. Monochromatic sequences teeming with details, gorgeous backgrounds, and much more have been showcased, and we can't wait to try it out next year. Ill. First-person horror title Ill received a new trailer, showcasing some very detailed environments and Cronenberg creatures. While it hasn't received a release date, it's making good on its use of Unreal Engine 5 to deliver stunning atmospherics, detailed lighting, and yes, some very detailed gore. Ludo. By contrast, the horror of Ludo by Broken Bird Games is more understated. As a first-person psychological horror title, it strongly resembles PT with its dilapidated house, long hallways, and surreal sights. Given that it's a story about someone who can't leave their house, embodying the pain of losing a loved one and the darkness hidden in depression, we'd say this approach works well. The detailed texture work, lighting, and shadows are also a plus. The Plucky Squire. It's hard not to love the Plucky Squire's art direction. It starts with hand-drawn 2D visuals on a book. When protagonist Jot finds himself in the real world, the game suddenly offers a realistic 3D style with real-time lighting and shadows, switching back and forth between the two for various sequences. It's almost like The Pedestrian, but with more expanded exploration. We'll hopefully see more en route to its launch next year. Fort Solis. An all-star voice cast of Troy Baker, Roger Clark, and Julia Brown would have been enough, but Fort Solis aims even higher. Developed on Unreal Engine 5, it offers detailed atmospheric lighting and shadows to go with its realistic animations, with full performance capture employed for the same. Though announced for PC, a release date has yet to be confirmed. If you're interested in a narrative thriller set in space, it may be worth the wait. That's all for now. If you enjoy what you saw, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, now is a great time to subscribe. We upload brand new videos every single day. After subscribing, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time, right here on Gaming Bolt.